Many have tried to recreate what it'd be like to attempt to outrun the Predator. If you like to think that it's an achievable task, well, you'd be sorely mistaken, because the Predator would carve you as a personal trophy just for sport. Luckily, we never had to put that to the test and can watch others survive against the Hunter in the new Predator prequel. First up, a Predator prequel with potential. Well, as the popular saying goes, if it bleeds, it can probably be killed. In the first trailer for Prey, we can see a depiction of an exciting and intriguing chapter in the renowned Predator franchise, which was released recently by 20th Century Studios. The film's 2-minute trailer showcased the release date for the film, which will premiere on Hulu on August 5th. The film depicts the Comanche tribe facing off against a predator in the past, about 300 years ago. The story revolves around Naru, played by Amber Midthunder, a brave and competent warrior who sets out to protect her people from a horrific, persistent, and often unseen killing machine that is ravaging the lands. She's a resilient woman, shown to be carefully honing her survival skills in order to improve and stand proud among her tribe. Next, we have a stellar team with a vision. Dan Trachtenberg's the director for the upcoming prequel, which was written by Patrick Asen and produced by John Davis, Jane Myers, and Marty Ewing. Executive producers include the likes of Lawrence Gordon, Ben Rosenblatt, and James E. Thomas, among others, who make an all-around stellar team carrying the franchise's mantle into the present day. What's a pretty big bonus in all this is that some actually come with existing experience of working on Predator films in the past. Prey filmmakers were devoted to presenting a genuine picture of the Comanche, according to 20th Century Studios, and as such have gathered an almost completely Native and First Nations cast. Now, for a welcome surprise for fans. Prey filmmaker Dan Trachtenberg gave fans a little piece of delightful news when he went on the record to state that God of War played a significant role in inspiring some major scenes in this next iteration of the franchise. Apparently, you can already see what he's talking about in the film's new trailer. He confirmed where those God of War tributes in the film's current trailer can be found in an interview with comicbook.com, just in case some fans didn't pick up on it themselves. He teased a while back that he took influence from the latest God of War video game, and one of those two things in the trailer is the shield, which can be seen only momentarily. As interlocking metal bits form in front of the alien hunter, the shield builds itself completely out of nowhere. Yes, that's how Kratos' shield in God of War worked too, in case you hadn't played the games, which would be a pretty rare deal considering how popular the game was. The other nod to Kratos isn't a Predator device per se, but the way Naru handles her axe, the same way Kratos does in the game before he hurls it at his foes and calls it back to himself. He gave fans a little teaser other than this as well, and claims that Naru comes up with something extremely cool for that tomahawk at some point in the movie too. He said it referred to a mechanic that players discovered and used in the video game. We can only wonder what he could possibly be referring to, considering the fact that the video game had countless moves you could perform with the axe. It's good to know that the director is making nods to video games in his films, since the audiences for both these productions aren't too far off from each other and have more in common than they think. When pondering over what his favorite God of War weapon was, Trachtenberg said the shield is something he thought really stood out as something cool. Up next, the tone of the film. Director Dan Trachtenberg has promised a really intense, action-packed movie in this next upcoming prequel, which has been in the works for a few years behind closed doors. We're glad that it was kept a secret all this long time, because just the idea of one of the most skilled hunters in science fiction, the Predator, going up against some of the most skilled hunters in mankind's history, the Comanche, leaves us giddy with anticipation. We can't wait. It's a brutal, intense, R-rated film according to sources, which only makes fans more excited since they've been asking for a film like this for the alien hunter for years. But let's not forget that this is also a work of sci-fi set in the past. And while the Predators are an advanced alien race of hunters with tech and all sorts of gadgets, 300 years means that some things might have an older look and feel. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, because it means the Predator will look new and refreshing like we've never seen him before. This was confirmed by sources as well, who said that as a result of the setting, the Predator will have a new, old look to go with the time it's set in. Trachtenberg confused fans considerably when he gave an example attempting to explain it, drawing a comparison between Star Wars and Star Trek, which is a pretty touchy subject too. He said, "I believe our Predator exists in my mind not just 300 300 years before, but also in sci-fi movie terms, time goes very slowly. If Star Wars or even Star Trek works the way they do, it'll be 300 years. And while we aren't entirely sure how his example fits, we can extract one key bit of information from his words, and that's that time is a relative phenomenon for both the species in their own worlds. Trachtenberg remarked that the ships of these creatures don't suddenly change their appearance, so these flying machines might look somewhat familiar. But this particular predator is possibly from a different hemisphere of the globe, and of a different breed altogether. So even his appearance is a little different, so it's familiar, yet different. Next, in other news, God of War November release? God of War Ragnarok, the latest installment in the long-running franchise and a direct successor to 2018's God of War, was finally confirmed for PlayStation consoles in 2020. Since then, Sony has repeatedly delayed the game on numerous occasions, both publicly and privately. This is mostly due to the fact that its developers had to deal with the pandemic and other production issues. It was originally scheduled for September this year, however, it was just moved to November. Sony's spokesman didn't react to a request for comment right away either, which is causing some unsavory rumors to brew. The game's absence from major industry showcases like the Summer Games Fest and Sony's very own State of Play, combined with a recent revelation from the European gaming website Game Reactor, led to these rumors that God of War Ragnarok wouldn't be released until 2023. We'd hate to entertain that thought. In the highly unpredictable world of game development, no dates are guaranteed, and it is possible that it will be postponed again. But as of this week, it's still on schedule for November, as was previously announced. This is according to some insider individuals who asked not to be identified because they were talking about private information that could have landed them in a boatload of legal trouble. Now we have Hulu's successful production release. Candy, one of the Hulu streaming platform's limited series that aired one episode a day from Monday to Friday, racked up a whopping 577 million total minutes of streaming time to place at an overall 6th on Nielsen's weekly list for the week ranging from May 9th to 15th. Since the most recent season of The Handmaid's Tale debuted on Hulu in May 2021, it was the best premiere by any Hulu series in recent time. The Lincoln Lawyer, which was a Netflix original series, and the Rebel Wilson comedy film Senior Year took silver and bronze positions on the list respectively in the other 9 categories. Ozark cruised its way easily to a repeat win. Just to give you a better idea of how Nielsen ranks and analyzes these, we see that on Netflix, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, and Hulu, Nielsen evaluates the amount of programming streamed in the United States via a TV screen in particular, excluding mobile watching altogether. The numbers are usually released on a consistent month-by-month basis. And finally, Kourtney Kardashian slams Hulu. Kourtney Kardashian had some pretty harsh words to say to the Hulu editors who were working on her family's new reality show, The Kardashians, which you've either binge-watched or avoided completely. After seeing some of the video footage that aired in recent weeks, the eldest Kardashian sister, aged 43, blasted the show's editors in a very public confessional from one of the episodes that aired on Thursday. The mother of 3 children requested the streaming service's executives to portray her fairy tale love story with Travis Barker in a tasteful way, instead of taking a different route. The editors chose to instead focus on the drama surrounding her ex Scott Disick. That's a wrap for this video. How excited are you for the Predator prequel? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.